This video will show you how to multiply fractions by fractions, and more specifically, doing that using an area model. Okay, look at the first problem. Jan has four pans of brownies and sends half of the pans to school. How many pans of brownies did Jan send to school? Now, when I draw an area model, I start with a large L, and then what I can do is I can split it up into the sections I need. I know that there are 4 pans, so I'm going to have 4 different sections. That's the first pan. That's the second pan. That's the third pan, and here's my 4th pan. You're looking at this vertically, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I can number that. Okay, so now I've added a label. Typically, I do not add a top, and that will make more sense as to why when we get into later lessons. And I know that half of the pans were sent to school. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take those pans, and I'm just going to draw a line down the middle. So I have half here, and I have a second half, or the other half, up above. And when I have the area model with these 4 pans, I know that I can completely ignore this upper half, because I'm only having the lower half of the pans sent to school. And now I can add my sections together. I have half of this pan, and half of the second pan, half the third pan, and half the 4th pan. If I add those together, I see that there are 2 pans worth of brownies that were sent to school. So in this step, I'm adding each of the 4 sections together. Okay, try this next problem. Jan has 1/4 of a pan of brownies and sends 1/4 of the treats to school. How many pans of treats did she send? Now this is a separate problem from the last one. Try it on your own. Okay. The first thing that I did here is I drew the beginning of my area model with that L, and then I split it into 4 sections because I need different fourths. Now ultimately I'm going to end up ignoring the second, third, and fourth, but it's there and available for right now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide the top part into fourths as well. Okay, so what I have along the bottom is I have the fourths, which represents pans. I should add that label there. And vertically, I have the treats that were sent in. If she sent in all of the amount, she would have sent in this whole section here. But she didn't. She only sent in 1/4. So I'm able to cross out the second, third, and fourth here. Okay? All that I need is this small section right here. Another way that you can look at it is that if she had 1/4 of a pan, I could have this entire pan section for the 1/4 highlighted. Okay? And if she sent 1/4 of the treats, I could have this entire bottom section highlighted. But I notice that the only part that has both the yellow and the blue, that is the total amount, is this one section down at the bottom. So I only have one of those sections. I'm going to put a 1. And if I count up all of the squares inside this area model, I see that there are 16 total. So when we look at that, we see that Jan, in this problem, sent 1/16 of the treats to school. If we were to look at this with an algorithm, we would have 1/4 times 1/4. And remember, when we multiply fractions, we can just go straight across. So for the numerators, 1 times 1 is 1. And for the denominators, 4 times 4 is 16. So you have 1/16 of a pan, or pans, 1 pan, was sent in. Try this last problem. A car dealer has 1/3 of his lot filled with trucks. 1/4 of the trucks are white. What fraction of all the vehicles on his lot are white trucks? First thing that I did to solve this problem is I drew the area model. Now when I look at it, we have 1/3 of the lot is filled with trucks. So I'm going to highlight in blue the 1/3 of the trucks. I'm not going to worry about the other 2 sections. Okay? And then when I look at it, we see that 1/4 of the trucks are white. So where I have 1/4, I'm going to fill that in with red. Okay? And again, looking at this, I see that I have only one section where it has the blue and the red. So I'm going to write 1. And there are 12 sections total. So 1/12 of the car dealer's lots are white trucks. And I can check that with a standard algorithm where I have 1/3 times 1/4. Again, multiply straight across. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 4 is 12. So 1/12 are white trucks.